You ever wonder why she pulled away the moment you gave her everything? Why your love, loyalty, and availability wasn't enough? You gave her your time, your heart, your energy. You were always there, but somehow that made her want you less. And deep down, it shattered you. But what if I told you, the less you give, the more she'll chase. The less you reveal, the more she'll want to know. The more you withhold, the deeper she'll fall. This video will explain exactly why that happens, and how you can flip the script, reclaim your power, and transform your life. Drop this in the comments right now. I will never chase again. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're not alone. You've been lied to, told that if you're kind, if you're loving, if you give her the world, she'll stay. But modern relationships don't operate on fairy tales. They operate on psychology, respect, value, and power. Today's man is lost. Not because he lacks heart, but because he was never taught to guard it. You've been trained to be nice but not strong, to be present but not unavailable, to be emotional but not disciplined. And in this chaos, you gave too much to women who never earned it. But now, the truth is in your hands. This video is your guide out. This message, it's your key to everything. Women fall in love when you give less. And this truth isn't just about women. It's about you. Your discipline, your mind, your mission. Because once you control that, you become untouchable. And for the first time ever, this blueprint, this way of living, this guide for high-value men, is available in an ebook format, public for now, but not forever. Why? Because not every man deserves this knowledge. It's only for those ready to rise. Click the link in the comments and grab your blueprint. Let's dive into the first truth. Number 1. Stop seeking her validation. She stopped loving you the moment you made her your reason to exist. That's when she emotionally clocked out, when your heartbeat started syncing with her notifications, when your joy depended on her approval, when every move you made was silently asking, "Am I enough for you now?" And you knew it. You felt it. You felt the shift in her tone, the cold in her eyes, the growing space in the texts, the way her replies turned shorter as yours turned longer. But you stayed. You begged. You adjusted. You watered yourself down hoping she'd drink, not realizing she was already quenching her thirst in the validation you gave away for free. You didn't love her. You idolized her. You made her your prize, your purpose, your mirror, seeking her gaze just to feel like a man. But what kind of man needs a woman's stare to see his worth? Not one that she'll ever stay loyal to. Because when you need her more than you need your mission, she senses it like heat. She sees it in the way you wait for her replies like a starving dog. She hears it in how you apologize just to keep her, not because you were wrong. She feels it when you drop everything to see her while she keeps her life intact. And the truth? She hates it. She may smile. She may take your gifts, your words, your love. But deep in her biology, she starts to withdraw. Why? Because neediness feels like pressure, like desperation, like you're asking her to fill your soul with meaning when you've forgotten how to generate it yourself. You text too much. You call too fast. You over-explain. You compliment her hoping she stays. You tell her how amazing she is, not because you want to, but because you think it'll win her back. But all you're doing is proving that you are not enough without her, and that is the single biggest attraction killer known to man. She doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to watch you chase your purpose. She doesn't want to feel responsible for your self-worth. She wants to respect the fact that you already have it. Every time you chase, every time you overexpress, every time you break your focus for her, you're shrinking, diminishing, and in her eyes, you become smaller. Women love mystery, they love confidence, they love strength. But more than anything, they love a man who can walk away and never look back. Because the moment she knows you'll always be there, she has no reason to value your presence. And you know this. You've felt it. The girls you didn't care about. They chased. They asked. They invested. The moment you stopped caring so much, everything flipped. That's not coincidence. That's truth. That's instinct. That's psychology. So if you're tired of being ignored, tired of being breadcrumbed, tired of being used as emotional support while she gives her body to another man, it's time to stop seeking her validation. Stop proving. Stop convincing. Stop molding yourself into the man you think she wants. Start becoming the man you were born to be. Let her wonder where you are. Let her miss your energy. Let her realize what she threw away. Not because you told her, but because she felt it. Withdraw your attention. Reclaim your power. Build a life that you're proud of, with or without her. Because the second you need her to feel like a man, you've already lost her. And when you finally become the man who no longer seeks validation, who validates himself, who doesn't beg to be chosen, she'll come back. And if she doesn't, it's because someone better will. Not better looking, not richer, not smoother, but more certain. And certainty is magnetic. So look in the mirror and ask yourself, have you made her your God? Or have you made yourself the reason she kneels? The world bends for the man who bends for no one, not even her. Number 2, boundaries make you attractive. She doesn't love the man who says yes. She respects the man who says no. But you were taught the opposite, that love is endless compromise, that if she cries, you stay. If she yells, you listen. If she threatens to leave, you beg. You were conditioned to believe that keeping the peace is noble, even if it means surrendering your pride, your rules, your very spine. And that's where you lost her. Not when you messed up, not when you argued, but when you became predictable, when you stopped holding the line, when she could break your rules with a smile and you'd still show up. That's when the respect started bleeding out. Women test men constantly, not to hurt them, but to reveal them. Every eye roll, every push of your patience, every cold reply. It's a quiet question. How far can I go before you push back? And if the answer is, there are no limits, she will lose all respect for you. Not immediately, not dramatically, but slowly, subtly, fatally. And that's what you felt. The shift, the emotional distance, the way she used to dress up for your dates and now wears sweats. The way she used to lean into your opinions and now mocks them. The way she used to check on you and now disappears for hours. It's all a consequence of your lack of boundaries. She doesn't hate you, she just can't trust you to lead. And no woman can love a man she doesn't trust. You taught her that there were no consequences, that she could ignore your calls, flake on your plans, flirt in your face, and you'd still show up with flowers and apologies. You thought love would conquer all, but love without respect is just attachment, and attachment kills desire. So how do you fix it? You set boundaries, not with words, with actions. You stop rewarding bad behavior. You don't call her after she disrespects you. You don't chase her after she pulls away. You don't entertain her when she comes back with tears and no accountability. You make your presence earned, not expected. You make your time precious, not automatic. You show her, not tell her, that disrespect is the fastest way to lose you, and that changes everything. Suddenly, she dresses up again. She texts first. She listens. She leans in, not because she's scared, but because she knows your love is strong, but your standards are stronger. And don't let anyone tell you you're being harsh. Harsh is letting a woman turn you into a doormat and calling it love. Real love thrives inside walls, not open fields. A garden only blooms inside a fence, so protect yours, set your rules, enforce them, and walk away from anyone who won't honor them. Because the woman who's meant for you will not only respect your boundaries, she'll feel safe inside them. She'll feel seen, protected, understood. Because now she knows you can protect yourself. And if you can protect you, you can protect her. That's when she'll give you her loyalty, her body, her soul. Not because you asked, not because you begged, but because you finally became the man she could trust with everything. And trust, not love, is the foundation of all real desire. So draw your line, hold it, and never apologize for being the kind of man who expects more, not just from her, but from himself. Number 3. Attention is her currency. She was never addicted to your love. She was addicted to your attention, and the moment you made it free, you made yourself disposable. The moment she knew you would always reply, always be there, always be available no matter how she treated you, she mentally checked out, because what is always available loses its value. What comes easy is rarely cherished. And your attention? It was once gold, rare, exclusive, something she had to earn. But somewhere along the way, you started handing it out like pennies. Endless messages, good mornings she stopped replying to, hearts on her stories even when she left you unread, calls she ignored but you kept making, checking in on her day when she never checked on yours. You thought showing her consistency would prove your love, but all it did was prove your lack of self-respect. And while you waited for her to wake up and appreciate you, she got bored. She started texting other guys. She smiled at your name but laughed harder at theirs. Because women crave emotion, and emotional stimulation comes from uncertainty, not routine. You made her your focus, and in doing so, you became her background noise. Understand this. Attention is the most powerful currency you own, and when you spend it on someone who doesn't reciprocate it, you're going broke emotionally. The man who is scarce with his time, who disappears to work on himself, who doesn't explain every move, who doesn't always reply in 5 seconds, who leaves her on read because he's reading his goals, that man becomes a mystery. And mystery breeds attraction. Why? Because it forces her to invest, to think, to wonder, to try. She checks your page more, she texts you first, she brings up old memories to get a reaction. She wears something different hoping you notice, because your attention is no longer guaranteed, and that makes it valuable again. That's when she starts chasing, and you'll notice it. The same girl who once made you feel invisible now lights up when you walk in, because your attention used to chase her, but now it moves with purpose, it moves with power, it goes to your business, your fitness, your goals, and she sees it. She sees the way you're changing, evolving, glowing from within, and she realizes that she is no longer the center of your world, and ironically, that's when she wants back in. But you don't give it easily anymore, because now you've learned the truth. A man who gives his attention to a woman who hasn't earned it is a man who will never be respected, never be prioritized, never be chosen. Attention isn't love, it's energy. And your energy is sacred, your time is sacred. And only the woman who respects it, who invests in you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, gets to receive it. And this isn't about playing games, it's about understanding value. Because when a woman has to work for your attention, she respects it. When she respects it, she values it. When she values it, she cherishes it. And when she cherishes it, she falls in love. So don't chase, don't beg, don't overgive. Let her earn it. Let her miss you. Let her feel your absence. And watch how she shows up differently, because she will always desire the man who made her feel something. And nothing makes a woman feel more than a man she can't fully have, because he's too busy having himself. Number 4. Emotional control is power. She doesn't pull away because she wants to hurt you. She pulls away to see if you'll chase. And the moment you do, the moment you react, The moment you try to fix what she broke, she knows she owns you. And that's where you lose not just her, but yourself. Because emotions, when uncontrolled, are weapons you turn against yourself. You yell, you cry, you explain, you overthink, you spiral, and all she does is sit back and watch a man unravel over a woman who was never worth that much power. Understand this deeply. Control is not coldness, it is mastery. And the man who can feel heartbreak and still not chase, who can be ghosted and still not respond, who can be rejected and still not fold, that man is rare, and women feel it. They feel it when you don't break, when you're calm, when you don't flinch, when she tests you and you pass because you're not reacting, you're responding. That's when she questions herself. That's when she rethinks walking away. Because she expected drama, she expected emotion, she expected you to crumble. But when you didn't, she felt something she never expected: respect. Because emotional control is not the absence of emotion, it's the refusal to let emotions dictate your dignity. And every man has felt the cost of failing this. You've begged, you've sent paragraphs, you've tried to explain the pain you were in, thinking she'd understand, thinking she'd come back. But all it did was push her further. Why? Because when you let your emotions control you, you become predictable. And predictable is unattractive. You become needy. You become reactive. You become a boy in a man's body. And women don't fall for boys. They use them. But when you master yourself, when you feel everything but act with discipline, when your peace is untouched by her chaos, you transcend. You become something she can't manipulate, can't figure out, can't forget. And that mystery, that depth, that control, that's what pulls her in. She'll test you again. She'll say something to get a reaction. She'll act cold to see if you'll chase. She'll flirt with others to trigger your pride. And every time you don't react, every time you stay centered, every time you walk away instead of argue, you rise in her eyes. Because now she knows you are not her puppet. You are not her therapist. You are not her emotional pillow. You are a man who feels everything, but lets no one control him. And when she comes back, because they always do, you won't be the same. Because now you've tasted real power. The power of emotional sovereignty. The power of not giving her the reaction she craved. The power of walking away when it hurts, but still doing it because you respect yourself more than her validation. That's the shift. That's the glow-up. That's when she realizes she lost something she never deserved. And you gain everything. Because now you don't just look strong, you are strong. You don't just act calm, you are calm. You don't just attract, you choose. Emotional control isn't about being unaffected, it's about being unshakable. And when you become unshakable, the world bends, but you never do. Number 5. Replace her with purpose. She became your obsession because you didn't have a mission. That's the root. That's the wound. That's the truth you've been trying to bury beneath "I just loved her." You didn't just love her. You made her your direction, your reason, your anchor. You gave her a role in your life that she was never supposed to fill. And when she left, your world collapsed. Not because she was your world, but because without her, you had nothing to stand on. No structure, no identity, just chaos and heartbreak and questions that gnawed at your self-worth. But the reality is brutal and freeing. She didn't ruin you. She revealed that you never built yourself. Because when a man is chasing a dream, he doesn't beg a woman to stay. When a man wakes up with fire in his chest, goals in his head, and purpose in his blood, he doesn't have time to wait on red receipts. His mind is too full of ambition to notice if she's watching his stories. His days are too packed with growth to obsess over her pullbacks, and she can feel that. She feels the shift when your eyes are no longer searching for her, but staring at the future you're building. She feels it when your time becomes expensive, not because you're trying to be distant, but because you're actually busy sculpting a life so powerful that she begins to feel lucky just to witness it. That's when everything changes. Because now, you're not chasing. You're not texting paragraphs. You're not reacting. You're leading. You're moving. You're rising. And women aren't drawn to men who orbit them. They're drawn to men who orbit greatness. So build it. Go to the gym, not just to look good, but because a strong body houses a focused mind. Read books not just to escape, but to evolve. Study your craft until your presence demands attention. Work in silence until your results roar. And in that process, something beautiful happens. You start liking yourself more. You stop needing her to see your worth because you start seeing it. You stop needing her love because you start loving the man you're becoming. And if she comes back, fine. But now, she's entering your world. She's not the world. She gets the man who wakes up before the sun, not the one refreshing her page. She gets the man who commands rooms, not the one whispering, "I miss you," into the void. And if she doesn't come back, even better. Because now you have no distractions. Now the heartbreak becomes fuel. Now the rejection becomes a redirect. And you start realizing that the more you build, the less you beg. Because a man on a mission doesn't chase, he attracts. A man with purpose doesn't fear loss, he expects loyalty. And a man who replaces her with growth becomes the man she cries about when she sees who he's become. So look in the mirror and be honest. Has your life been about her or about you? The world will not wait for you to get over her. It will only reward the man who uses pain to level up. And once you taste the peace of building something real, no woman, no matter how beautiful, will ever again be worth sacrificing your purpose. Number 6. Detachment creates mystery. You lost her the moment she figured you out. When every word was predictable, every reply instant, every mood readable, she got bored. Not because she wanted chaos, but because mystery feeds attraction, and you gave her none. You told her everything. You showed her too soon. You opened your heart, your plans, your wounds, hoping she'd feel closer. But instead, she felt control. She saw that you needed her to respond a certain way, act a certain way, love you a certain way, because without it, you had nothing left. But what she truly craves isn't full disclosure. It's emotional tension. It's the unknown. It's wondering what you're thinking. It's waiting for your next move. It's trying to understand what she hasn't yet fully grasped. And that only happens when you stop revealing everything, when you start living a life that is full with or without her. When you no longer ask, "What are you doing?" because you're doing too much yourself. When your posts stop being love songs and start being milestones. When your calls slow down because you're in meetings, not because you're playing games. When your smile is no longer for her approval, but for your progress. That's when she starts watching again. That's when the same girl who told you she needed space now checks your stories first. Because detachment doesn't mean you care less. It means you stopped over-investing. You stopped over-giving. You stopped making her your emotional priority. And that changes the entire dynamic. She starts thinking again. She starts questioning. She starts remembering the parts of you she took for granted. Because mystery is created by restraint. Power is created by space, and attraction is created by uncertainty. And no matter what anyone tells you, if a woman knows exactly how you feel, exactly when you'll call, exactly what you'll do, she won't be obsessed, she'll be content. And contentment never breeds passion. So hold back, don't tell her every thought, don't give her every hour, don't reveal every layer. Keep some things for yourself. Not because you're hiding, but because your life is too big to be summarized in a weekend together. She doesn't need to know every step you're taking. She just needs to see that you're moving. And when she feels that gap, when she feels that pull, when she senses that she doesn't fully have you, that's when she tries harder. That's when she texts more. That's when she respects more. Because now you're no longer the open book. You're the unopened chapter. And women don't fall in love with explanations. They fall in love with experiences they can't control. So be that. Be the experience. Be the man she can't quite figure out. Be the one who loves without obsession, who gives without asking, who stays grounded whether she comes or goes. That's the man who stays in her mind long after the others fade. Because mystery lingers, mystery haunts, mystery keeps her checking your page at 2 a.m. And when you master detachment, you become the man she can't replace, because she never fully had you to begin with. Number 7. Stop rewarding disrespect. The moment she raised her voice at you, and you still kissed her goodnight, the moment she cancelled plans on you last minute, and you still called her the next morning, the moment she flirted with someone else and you laughed it off just to avoid confrontation, you taught her something irreversible, that you will tolerate disrespect, that your love comes with no price, that she can do what she wants, and you will still be there like clockwork, hoping, begging, forgiving, staying. And that, right there, is the seed of every heartbreak you've ever felt. Because disrespect doesn't start as a hurricane, it starts as a drizzle. It starts small. A slight dig at your masculinity during an argument, a comment about your job in front of her friends, a smirk when you speak about your goals. And in that moment, you feel it. You feel something isn't right, but you ignore it. You rationalize it. You tell yourself, she's just emotional. It's not that serious. She didn't mean it like that. And every time you let it slide, it gets worse. Because disrespect is like a weed. It grows when unaddressed. And by the time it fully blooms, it's choking the life out of your dignity, your pride, your sense of self. You start changing. You start tiptoeing. You become quieter, softer. You stop asserting your opinions just to avoid conflict. You start suppressing your needs just to keep her happy. And in doing so, you become the very thing she never wanted. A man without a backbone, a man who can be molded, a man who has no limits. And that's when she starts resenting you. She loses attraction, not because you aren't kind, but because you lack edge. She needs to feel that if she crosses a line, there are consequences. Not threats, not shouting matches, but action, distance, absence. She needs to feel that your love is real, but it's not unconditional. Because love without standards is not love, it's addiction. It's a need to be needed, and that need will be used against you every single time. She'll come late, she'll disappear, she'll compare you to others, she'll throw your past in your face, she'll test how much you'll take, and if you take it, she'll lose all respect. But if you draw the line, if you get up mid-argument and walk out, if you let her know through your absence that disrespect will never have access to you again, everything changes. Suddenly, she's the one reflecting. She's the one apologizing. She's the one remembering the man who walked away from her chaos like it was never loud enough to make him stay. That is power. That is control. That is respect. And it doesn't come from aggression. It comes from principle, from values, from boundaries that are so sacred to you, you'd rather lose her than lose yourself. That's what women secretly crave. A man they can't manipulate, a man they can't disrespect without losing. And the best part? You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. You don't need to fight for your worth. You just leave, quietly, completely, consistently. And if she comes back, it's on your terms. And if she doesn't, it's her loss. Because now you've built yourself into a man who doesn't reward bad behavior with attention, who doesn't need drama to feel alive, who doesn't cling to love that doesn't nurture him. You've become someone she never thought you could be, someone who has boundaries stronger than his emotions. And in a world that teaches you to give endlessly, to forgive endlessly, to stay endlessly, this is your rebellion. This is your power. This is how you break the cycle. You stop rewarding disrespect, not because you hate her, but because you finally love yourself enough to walk away from anything that makes you doubt your worth. And that decision, that shift, that energy, it's what makes you unforgettable. Because the man who values himself is the one everyone values more. If you've ever loved a woman who slowly stopped respecting you, if you've ever sat in the darkness wondering why giving her everything still left you with nothing, if you've begged, pleaded, changed yourself just to be tolerated, then understand this: it was never love you lacked, it was knowledge. And the truth they never told you, the truth that could have saved you years of confusion, heartbreak, regret, is now available. It's called the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men, and it's not just an ebook, it's the awakening, the weapon, the shield every man was supposed to receive before stepping into the battlefield of modern dating. It's the manual that teaches you how to reclaim power, command respect, and never lose yourself to love again. It's raw, it's real, it's ruthless, and for now, it's available. But it won't be forever, because not every man is ready to know this. But if you are, if you're done being used, done being ignored, done living a life where your worth depends on her mood, then scroll down, grab that blueprint from the pinned comment, and build the man you were born to be. Comment, "I am the prize," if you're ready to rise. Like the video. Subscribe. Help this truth reach another man before he wastes another decade, because every click, every share, every word you type could save a brother from becoming the man you used to be.